All right, guys, welcome back to the new sub game. This is the African subscriber game that's been going on for quite some time now. Let's go ahead and check the day. I've been trying to remember to do this. So we're month 3 here, day 90 in this game, in this massive game. This was the first game that we started once we had a significant number of subscribers. So I mean like over 100 subscribers. We had a group, a big enough group to where we were like, okay, let's do this again. The first subscriber game, of course, was in Australia, which, Australia is not a bad place, but it's a bad place for an entire coalition to be. So, for instance, in the future, if I wanted to include Australia, I wouldn't be against that. But I would think maybe have a coalition that you start off with one guy up in sort of East Central Asia, another in Southeast Asia, maybe another on this island group, another on this island group, and then maybe 2 on Australia. The idea being that you would sort of grow together, but then eventually, and you'd have to work with whatever groups of people you have around you as well. But the idea being that, that first one, that first sub game, we were just all down here. And then we swarmed up to here and just had horrible morale problems. Of course, our capitals were back here. So a lot of us moved our capitals onto Asia, and things suffered back at home. And, all those things were, manageable. But keep in mind, there were other, coalitions and players on the map who didn't have that problem, who were able to grow and expand a lot faster because they didn't have to mediate those issues. So we started this next game in Africa, but again, we sort of started all down here in Southern Africa, which seemed like a good idea. The water's at our back. We got each other's shoulders. We'll move forward northern wise. But the same sort of thing happened again, where like we were too clustered together. And you can see that's kind of fallen down now, because now it's me and Hertz here, pretty much dominating in Southern Africa. We got Benaya in Central Africa here. And then I'm over here again. Oh, this is Shogun, by the way. Yurichi Shogun has done really well in this game and kind of kept the whole of Western Africa all the way down the coast locked down. And then, of course, I'm over here, and I expanded into one of our guys went AFK, and I went ahead and captured a bunch of his territory, so I was able to kind of expand a little bit. It looks like Shogun got some of them as well. He took part in that war. And at some point, it'd be nice to take stuff back from Harcold, but at this point, it almost doesn't matter, because Europe has reformed. And again, this was a big blow. Losing Harcold here was huge to Europe. You can see Harcold has this. Oh, he's back. He's back. Yay. Okay. I think he came back recently, or maybe I'm just losing my goddamn mind. But good. I'm glad to see that he's back, and he's probably in that reformed. He is not in reformed Europe. But if he's not, he will be soon, I got to say. He probably has. Let's just go ahead and see. I believe Dogmaster is in reformed Europe. Yep. Europe reformed. And, yep. Gotha, Western Iceland, which is... what the hell kind of paperclip? Tom and Jerry, that's right. Tom and Jerry is also over here in Britain and over here massively in the New World. So he is Western Iceland, so he must have started up here and moved down into here. Pretty good gameplay there. So what's happening at this point is I have disbanded the African Union. We lost a lot of people, and it was basically Shogun, me, Benaya, and I think Hertz was with us for a while there as well, but now he's over to, yeah. So a lot of people were starting to go, well, we need to unite under one banner. At this point, if you go, let's check out the, let's check out the coalitions here. You can see that Europe reformed still only has 4 people in it, 4 nations. And so they need 3 more, or they can accept 3 more. So what we've done is we've disbanded, and I thought, okay, Benaya, go. I'll go, and Shogun. If the 3 of us go and round out that 7, then actually the game points here, which right now are not super impressive. That's less than half of what is needed to win. But if 3 more of us join in and we continue to work together, then we can maybe work towards that first place victory, which I think Europe is going to have anyway, whether we join or not, but we can certainly help to accelerate that process. So I've already talked to these guys. Now, Harkold coming back, that's going to make a difference, because if I was Europe, I would want him back first. So that might put one of us out in the cold, and it might be me. and I'm actually really okay with that. I really am. I do approach this game as fun, first. We should be having fun. And I've had enough of these games now go south on me to not get really upset about, if that happens. It's okay. I'll be all right. I'll live, So here's what's going on in this game. Enough of that big picture stuff. Let's zoom down into some sort of specifics here. Whatever's going on with Europe, hopefully we can gain access into Europe and unify this entire block here. That would be great. It'd be really nice to see Harkold, Benaya, me, Shogun on a team with the Dogmaster, who we've worked with in the past, and also with Tom and Jerry, who's been a strong presence here, both in the New World and over here in England and onto the continent. So let's take a look at a couple of things that are happening. This is one I'm excited about right here. It's about to go down. So I think I showed in a previous, I'm not sure if I showed in a previous one or not, but somebody landed over here and made an attack at me. I believe it was Central Texas. And it happened a few days ago, so I don't think I'll be able to find it necessarily. But it was just a bloodbath. It really was. What I can look for is me in Texas at war, any battles that have happened at all. But he landed, and he just didn't have the support, and I had bombers, and it was really bad. It was ugly. I want to say like the West Para. It was in the range of like, he lost 640,000 and I lost like 8,000 or something like that. I do wish I could find those stats. I should probably have them ready beforehand if I was a planning sort of fellow. Here's Central Texas. He's just building stuff. That's not battle info. All right. Well, yep. And we're all the way to the bottom. I don't know what day it was anyway. The point being, really knocked Central Texas down. That's who this is over here. And that's why I'm at war with him, because he came down there and attacked me, and I'm still at war with him. So I get ready and I move this huge fleet out to go ahead and attack Central Texas. And who do I see coming over here but West Para? West Para, who we've bumped into a little bit down here. So this is West Para down here. He came around and attacked into here, got repelled, and I used my bombers to kind of fend him off. Don't want to say how many bombers I have, just in case some of these guys are watching, but they're down here right now, and they got through helping to repel the invasion from South Para. By the way, some people just never learn. So here comes West Para again. I said South Para. Here comes West Para again with another large invasion fleet. And so, forget I said I have bombers. I don't have what? Have what? What? Okay, so this is the battle I'm excited about, though, right here, because this is going to be massive. So let me just tell you a little bit about what's happening here. I've got these 12 subs who I was moving into the Gulf of Mexico over here. Was going to move it in here to start to sort of counterattack Central Texas, who, by the way, is a freaking powerhouse. Look at that. Look how much territory he has. That is a massive amount of territory. He's got boats. He's got lots of boats. That's a lot of coastline there, which I would guarantee you there are lots of, harbors along there. 1, 2, not as many as I would think. 3, I think I see 3 harbors? What? Like, okay, well, maybe he's been fighting land wars or something with other people over here. I don't know. But anyway, I would certainly have a lot of boats building if I had that kind of meat in the interior in terms of just massive numbers of territories, and then that, number of coastal tiles. So anyway, what's happening here is I recalled these 12 that were going into the Gulf of Mexico. They're coming back, these 12 subs. Can't quite see them. There they are. So these 12 and these 2 are going in to lock this guy in place. So once you engage someone in melee, and also to knock him down, because if you look at this 12, and I'm going to lose them, but man, they pack a punch. 48 damage. So that'll knock down a bunch of stuff. Um, and they also get that first sneak attack as well. So that's fun. But the real damage is going to come right here from my 13 battleships. Woo, doggy. 13 battleships with a ranged attack of 78 per attack, and just, leaning back, hanging back, lobbing in the ordnance, and kiting back as much as you possibly want. And I'm also going to go ahead and send in 150 infantry, and their only job will be to lock these guys up, because you can't move if you're in battle, right? So they'll go in and engage the enemy in melee combat. And it's funny to think about infantry serving this purpose on the ocean, because infantry do that all the time. If you're fighting on land, you'll send in some infantry to engage their main stack so that they can't escape, and then you'll come in with your big stack and attack them. But the same thing is true here as well. As soon as this 150 infantry attack this main stack, he can't go anywhere. He can't escape. But maybe even more importantly, he can't run anything up on me. So I'll continue to rain down hellfire with these 13 battleships over here. So pretty excited about that. I'll take this island back. This was my island, by the way. And he came in with that big old fleet. And it just so happens I had a big old fleet nearby. It's just kind of, I guess you could say it's fate that giant battle will happen. So, not much else happening here. There's a lot going down across the world, as you can see. We got some massive enemies here in North and South America. We're no longer sort of a unified force, but I am super glad to see Harkold back. He was out for a while, and he is a massive power in Europe. So him returning is actually going to be something that will shift the levers of power here. We'll see what happens coming up next time. I'm not casting this game regularly anymore, but it's obviously still an active game with lots of question marks. So we'll stay with it. I'll probably every couple weeks, I'll continue to just come back to this game and see how it's going. So I think we've exhausted the potential interest from this particular session. So let's go ahead and get out of here, but we'll come back soon. And when I say soon, I mean 2 weeks. So not soon at all, but honestly, soon in terms of this gameplay, right? Because as we already mentioned, we are on month 3 of this game, right? Dude, here we go. We're on day 90 of this game. Oh, we're on day 91. Why did I guess I backed it up one. Anyway, so, we're deep into this game. We're going to keep on casting it. There are still surprises coming. There are still big armies. In fact, in some ways, this is one of the funnest parts of the game here, when you do have these massive clashes of armies where you have, thousands of infantry. And look at this. Isn't this interesting? This is an active war over here, but it almost seems more like a cleaning up exercise. You know what I'm saying? Look at these. These are small numbers here. And that typically happens when you're cleaning up a former ally or somebody who's gone AI. So very interesting what's going on here in Eastern Europe. This is over here, of course, get rid of this. Northeast Rhodesia. Okay, this is Hertz. Hertz is in a couple games with me, and he is an active and formidable player. All right, and he's down here. That's where, coming from all the way down there, coming up into here, taking over, honestly, all of the Indian Peninsula and all of the, central territories behind and above. Very interesting. So come back, and I guess the next video you'll see will be a couple of weeks into the future, and we'll see what happens. There's a couple of interesting things going on here. Who will eventually be a part of Europe Reformed? Who's going to be that roster of 7? And will that roster of 7 be stable? Will people quit? You never know. And also coming over to this side of the board, we do have United Americas, which, boom, boom, both of the countries I'm personally at war with now are part of that coalition. So that's a significant coalition as well. Sharp corner down here. Yeah, so United Americas is literally America only. Yeah, they're all together. They're all, what do you call it when everybody's all together? And they're like on a team together or something. There's a word for that. Anyway, thanks guys. I'll see y'all next time. Adios, amigos.